Friday, July 10th or 11th?
11th.
11th, right? 11th, yeah. 11th, Friday edition of Pick Central. Myself, Hubs, Ev, Clemmer, NBA champion, Clemmer. So
that's right.
There,
Thank you. Yes,
the NBA champion.
I was very happy you weren't still going when I woke up.
So am I. It actually ended a little sooner than I thought it would.
I was still up in the middle of the night, so I turned it on and it was over. I was like, wait, so you won? I thought it was.
Well, yeah, I won by
about
12:30. We did 3 seasons. We take our time with it, but we got there. Yeah, I just want to talk about some of the Tate Keegan stuff from yesterday. Thank you to Keegs for having my back. But I will say, like, Tate and I are totally good. I talked to him this morning. There was a miscommunication. At the end of the day, the funny thing is, this all stems back. This is all Mincy's fault, of course. He was going to do a stream with Mincy this week, and the World Series of Poker happened. So because of that, he ended up pushing up the video game stream. That's why he couldn't tell me until late in the week about the video game stream. I couldn't move mine because we already had a sponsor lined up with Stella Blue, who is great. Thank you. And then his stream went long. But you know what? At the end of the day, it helped my stream because when his stream went off, I got redirected a lot of people, and we ended up having over 1,000 concurrents when I won it at 12:39. For my little niche thing, that's huge. So I am not mad at all at Tate. Not mad at all. In fact, Tate and I were talking this morning. I'm going to go do Stool After Dark. He's going to do a baseball one, I think, in October. And he's going to say we could do a thing, try to get more Game Time subscribers. We got 1,500 Game Time subscribers yesterday. Sold some coffee, hopefully a lot of coffee for my little thing. So I'm happy. It was good. Everything is good. That's the thing. That's it.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of eggs in a lot of baskets here. We're going to do a lot of content.
Of course.
So it'll overlap here.
In true Barstool fashion, too. Like, there was a fight, and then we all ended up helping each other.
Yeah.
That was like a perfectly quintessential Barstool day.
I mean,
there's zero animosity on my end.
I was getting close to having to do Fat Guy Walks. You know what I mean? So, when you look at the inception of Dave does the pizza. Now we got people reviewing things. So, is Large ripping off Dave? Like, if you want to be an asshole, you could say, yeah, but there's just different ways to do content. I don't think he is, obviously. I know he's not. But my point is that everything at some point, has gone from everywhere else.
Oh, of course. The
mailbag, in terms of columns, when guys used to write things like mailbag. Can't be the first guy to invent a mailbag. It's just the way it goes. So.
No, there was zero. The only reason I was even a little bit annoyed, and I was annoyed, and I was like, oh, this sucks, is just because and he didn't know I was doing win till, stream till you win. So he didn't know that. The only reason I was annoyed is because I know his show is so much bigger than my little niche thing, and then his was going to go first. So then you're going to get all this shit, people saying you stole his idea. That was the only reason I was annoyed. But Tate didn't know there was no ill intent on Tate's part. That's all. There was no ill intent on anyone's part. So I'm not mad at all. I'm happy the stream went great. I'm thrilled. Thank you to anyone who watched. I appreciate it. And everything is good. I promise.
Congrats to the Washington Wizards.
Thank you. Yeah, Wizards champions. Might be the only championship they ever win. Were they in the draft?
Yeah, definitely.
They were definitely high.
I think I might have taken them.
Yeah, they were high. They were high.
Yeah,
they were high. It's tough. They're in tough shape.
We should clip that just with the picks and put it as a board thing to keep recirculating.
Yeah, I like
when
that.
guys did that because that could be something that could be revisited for a long time. And I really do think a lot of them won't win.
Yeah.
25, 30 years, I would take over on almost all of those franchises.
It also is a weird, the thing, it's very weird because some of them are you're basing off of are they good now, how historically bad they've been. For example, the Knicks. The Knicks are historically horrible, but they've actually been pretty good as of last year.
You went on a limb there. That's the one that
it depends how you want to look at it. Because there's a prisoner of the moment thing with them.
I do think there's
right
but the Rockies and Pirates and certain things like that, you're pretty safe.
I will say when I was growing up, the biggest joke NFL team was the Patriots.
Right.
So you just never know how things can turn. Get a good owner in there, things can shift.
Yeah, but you were growing up in what?
80s and 90s?
Right. So, then they flipped in.
They almost.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they really flipped when they got Drew Bledsoe and Kraft took over 93. But 88 to 92, the Patriots were the laughingstock in the NFL.
Right. Yeah, it happens. Cyclical. All right. The big news. Phil sent this in the chat. All signs point to the Lakers wanting to move on from LeBron James by the spring of 2026, per Ramona Shelbourne and Windhorst ESPN. The Lakers had already made their statement in not offering James a contract beyond this season. It was abundantly clear that the 21-time, that's crazy, All-Stars time as the face of the Lakers had for the first time a planned end date, even if James' record-setting NBA career did not. Whether the 2025-26 season is to be James's final season in the NBA is up to him. But if he wanted the kind of Hollywood ending that only the Lakers can give legends of the game, the release date was set spring 2026. Luka Doncic in, LeBron James out. Very interesting here because it's Lakers are still competitors. I don't think they have all the pieces this year. They'll be in the mix. They'll always be in the mix with LeBron and Luka if they're healthy together. It's a 1-2 punch that, is dreams are made of. You never would have thought that. But if things start to go sour, he kind of gets banged up. It's very interesting that at the end of it, he's not going to be happy. They're going to have to maybe. What are they saying? They're going to move him in the dead.
I don't think he starts the year with the team. I think he's on a different team. I've always thought that. Ever since he.
But that would be healthier. If they move him now, it's like, okay, you knew you were going to move me in 2026. You move me now to a better situation, or at least I know what's coming. The thing I'm looking at is when it gets really ugly, like at the deadline, if the Lakers are banged up and not doing great, and LeBron's not happy, and every question is what.
I don't think he gets.
Yeah, no, I'm laying out scenarios.
Yeah.
I think that's the messiest of all.
I think that coming out right now, LeBron opting in, which was the clear sign that he is very much open to playing for another team and chasing one more ring because he doesn't think the Lakers presently can do that, which I don't think they can either. I think all the pieces now on the table where he's on another team. Now, where
can he go?
That's the question.
Well, I mean, because he opted in, you can make that work. Now, I'm not an apron savant. I don't know how it can work technically. It could be difficult, but the groundwork is set now for him to be on another team to start next year. And it'll be his final team, and it could be his final year, but I don't think he's a Laker to start the year.
I don't think it's almost like how could he be realistically? Like you said, with everything that's happened with him opting in, I mean, I just don't see like you're saying like they're going to move on from 2026. Like, what would be the point of keeping him for like this 1 year and then getting nothing for him?
Right.
Like if you're the Lakers.
Well, no, the way I read that, they're going to move him.
They could go.
I think they'll
in,
move him at the deadline. I think they'll move him at the deadline.
But I think if they're
I know that's not spring.
I don't think so.
You move him now. You move him now.
You move him now.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the same thing we said with Ohtani. Move him before the season. It's when you get the most value.
Yeah.
Closer and closer you get to the deadline, the less and less value.
Also, if you're acquiring him at the deadline, like they might, whatever team is acquiring him, like he might get run into the ground in this first half of the year. Whereas, like if he goes to a much better team, like let's say Cleveland, for example, people are going to throw that out there. They're so deep that they could rest his minutes and he could be in pristine shape going into the postseason. Whereas the Lakers are going to need him.
Lakers got to be thrilled here too. Like if LeBron, if it's not working out and it's run its course, like whatever, you're a legend. You got us a ring, fake, albeit that, but you got us a ring, like whatever. Go. You want to go play somewhere else? Like we're gonna get some assets for it, rebuild. We'll figure it out. Like thanks for everything, great. But they also got to be thrilled they get rid of Bronny James, dude, because he's not a fucking.
Maybe they keep him.
They keep him?
Locked down Cooper last night. I'm kidding.
I mean, he's not. He's fine.
You got to be thrilled with that. Like
I don't think they.
I don't think they care about him.
I think they're thrilled.
I'm just saying, like it's a nice little, like it's one of those things it'll hit them on the drive home.
Here's where they're thrilled.
Oh, we lost LeBron. Oh, wait, we do get to get rid of that LeBron.
But they might not necessarily have to, or they can.
I don't think he's a difference. You know what I mean? Just get the.
Well, of course he's not, but
he's a distraction.
Second round.
Yeah, it's a distraction. You're right.
Here's where they're happy. A year ago they didn't have Luka Doncic. Now they do have Luka Doncic.
Right.
The thought of losing LeBron James a year ago was like, fuck,
nightmare.
Where do we go?
I don't think
now you have Luka's your future. He's about to. He didn't sign the extension yet, right?
Not yet.
He will sign the extension and be there forever. He'll be the face of the Lakers.
Yeah,
it'll be great for them. Their fortunes changed so much in the last year.
I don't think there's any chance. I shouldn't say any. I don't think there's much of a chance LeBron is traded deadline. I think he's traded before the season. You cannot have that hanging over LeBron James' head for half the season.
I don't think he would want that.
I don't think so either.
No, it'd be every question.
Really doesn't.
Jason, pull up a list of, just so it's visual. Pull up a list of teams, the NBA teams, if you can. But off the top of your head, like where's he go?
Cavs,
Knicks.
You think the Knicks have enough to?
It would be like I could see that being like a Towns LeBron straight up because that's my understanding. Aprons talk. Easiest way to do that is like a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
And the salaries almost match up identically.
That's it's. I don't think the 1-for-1 needs to matter. What matters is the salaries in the match.
Yes.
But isn't it
You can do a 3-for-1.
But
And
Towns makes like the same.
If you're in apron 2, it's like a lot harder to do.
can't you just go get 2 guys at the minimum though?
I actually don't even think you're allowed to if you're in the second apron. I don't think you're allowed to do multiple contracts match up.
With that.
Look at the teams. I mean, you also want to pull up a list of NBA teams.
I don't.
What do you?
Just so the ones that don't hit you, you would whatever. Yeah, okay.
I think that's more than adequate.
I think it would just be like for the Knicks. I think it would be Towns for him straight up.
Yeah,
I don't know what the
too.
cap.
Yeah, but if you're the Lakers,
Would you want that?
at a certain point, when you're going to make that trade,
I've told you, I don't think Brunson and Cat
Correct.
can coexist defensively for a title team.
You're getting okay. How long is Cat signed for? I'm sorry.
3 more years.
So you're trading 3 years of Cat for maybe 1 year of LeBron.
Right, but like at its
He
worst,
misses a lot of
At its
time.
worst, it clears the salary away.
True.
It allows you to reset quicker. With Towns,
So you would then-
with Towns, you're stuck, and that gets. I think it gets up to $60 million
Yeah.
in year 3.
Close to it, yeah.
Where are you guys over the cap? Like, is that even money you could spend in year? Because if LeBron retires, that money then that contract is
that just
gone.
frees up.
Yeah, but it
like,
frees up some
How much
space.
does
You
free
got-
up if you're already over the cap by so much?
I don't think we're that much over it. I don't
I don't
know.
know. That's what I'm asking. I
don't think
It creates
I think our cap
flexibility that they
situation's
would
like-
not have had with Towns. And you're getting a guy who I think just works better for them than Towns.
I agree.
Okay.
I love Towns, a great offensive player, and maybe with Mike Brown, things could be unlocking more. I also add in the Mike Brown situation now, where LeBron has a relationship with that guy.
True.
That comes into play. Granted, it didn't work out, but I think I would be happy with that.
but you don't think when you're making
For
that
the flexibility
trade,
in anything.
No, 100%.
Towns for LeBron is pretty fair asset, so to speak. Asset for asset. Like you're getting LeBron for a year, you're getting Cat for 3.
I don't think it's a crazy.
Asset wise,
Also,
it kind of matches up.
Lakers pairing Luka's defense with Cat.
With Cat's defense would be fascinating.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You're gonna have a good offensive team.
Yeah.
Have fun with the JJ
luck with
Redick.
that.
Good luck, man. Yep.
But I think when that trade, when they're talking on the phone and like the Knicks are like, Cat for LeBron straight up, like it kind of works out for both of us. Like, what do you think? I do think the Lakers would be like, dude, it is still LeBron. I don't care how old he is. It's LeBron James. It's a legend. You got to throw in some picks.
No.
I do think.
No, I don't think
Almost
so.
no, but now they don't have the
For a
leverage.
year of 41-year-old
The Lakers
LeBron
don't
I
have
don't.
the leverage.
Yeah,
for
I
it.
think that's a pretty even spot.
Factor in.
Cat, who's like
I do
in
think
his
it's a.
prime.
I just think if I was the Lakers, I would still try to picture the other end of that phone, which any team it is, the Cavs. The Cavs already had him, so it's a bad example. The Knicks, or teams a piece away, or just like sniffing a fucking title. You're like, if you're gonna hang up that phone, or you're gonna make the deal not work, like you have the opportunity to get LeBron James.
On the
Like,
flip
what the
side
fuck
of that,
is the
Rico,
difference of a
on
pick?
the flip side of that,
It is a
they're doing the
difference.
Lakers
Yeah, I
a
know.
favor in that situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
If he doesn't get traded, you get nothing for him.
Correct.
You're only,
That's a good
you're
point,
only
too.
bidding
Good
against the
point,
other
too.
teams that want him too. Like,
Yeah.
if there's you go for the best offer. It's not trying to squeeze somebody out of more stuff. It's like, all right, who's offering you something more than Cat? And maybe they will. I don't know. But that's the question. If Cat's the best offer, you take it.
That just came out, which clearly came from the Lakers front office. It leaked from Jeannie Buss or Pelinka or whatever. They want to trade him. So
Yeah, right.
that leverage is gone too. Of like,
you're right.
no, we don't want to trade. No, you
That's
want
fair.
to trade him. It's out there. You put that out there.
Cleveland's the most likely scenario, right? So who would Cleveland trade back to the Knicks? I mean, to the Lakers, excuse
Why
me.
is Cleveland the most likely?
Because they're close.
There's that LeBron dinner thing where he was like talking about New York. I think that's out there, man.
I think New York's very realistic. I think the Cavs
No, I
and
don't-
the Knicks are the
so
most
I
realistic.
think I would put them like.
I think they're like 1-2 interchangeable.
All right, then even so, for that sense argument, who would the Cavs send back?
Like
is
Garland.
that a better
Probably
offer for the
Garland.
Lakers?
Want to
Garland,
deal
right?
Garland.
Garland.
Want to deal Garland. And
So you got a young point
You're the
guard.
Lakers. Who would you rather have, Garland or Towns? That's the question.
Probably Garland.
It's close.
Just because of the defensive thing I just mentioned with.
Garland's not a good defender either, though.
He's not, but he's a guard. Where like if you pair,
You can hide him with a big guard.
Yeah,
You can hide him with a
that's
big
more
guard.
what I'm saying.
But like Lucas, I guess defensively he's like bigger physically, but
Is there any team in the West that you think is a possible?
I'll give you one in the East. The Lakers are known for fleecing people. What about LeBron for Giannis? Straight up, Giannis wants out. Like, what if the Lakers pull another miracle here?
yeah.
Now you got Giannis with that I show speed guy. That'll leak in.
Yeah, I think it's
saw that coming.
Cavs are on the
Not my
list.
world.
He had said like people are like urging him to go to the Knicks or whatever, but in the clip, the extended clip, like he kind of is like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like it seems at the moment he's staying in Milwaukee.
Well, yeah, he just said like I'm probably gonna stay.
Yeah.
He basically,
Really?
I'm not. But who knows? That could change.
Imagine
in
he
a
goes to
dime,
Dallas.
Interesting. Yeah.
They just trade Flag.
No, but like, I
mean, I don't know how you trade.
Yeah, I
for
don't know
without-
what contract it was.
without
Anthony Davis.
Flag, yeah.
I think you would have to
Is
give
this
up
AD?
Flag. I
They
think
trade AD again?
you would have to give up Flag. I think.
Oh, the salaries don't
Not
match.
give a flag.
You can't. It wouldn't. It would have to be like 80.
What's AD made?
Empty Flag like
What's AD made?
probably 50 plus.
That,
50.
that would add up.
80
That's
would
what I'm
add
saying.
up.
It couldn't be flag. It'd have to
Oh,
be 80.
yeah. No, it would be
It'd be
AD.
Flag plus. I was just
It'd
like,
be hilarious.
No, but if you're the Buck, I get what you're saying with
But no,
salaries.
Dallas- no.
But if you're the Bucks in the trying to equalize the values of that trade, if you're the Bucks, you do not make that trade without. And I know he's not going to get traded, but you do not make that trade without Flag going. If you ask me,
The Bucks.
yeah, because Giannis getting Flag. I'm saying because Giannis is that good of an asset. Like you're giving him.
You're talking about trading Giannis for flag. I thought we were talking about LeBron for flag. I'm
Why
No, LeBron's not getting
What
traded.
about the Clippers? Kawhi?
Why
That you appease LeBron by he stays in LA.
can you improve the defense on the Lakers?
Oh yeah.
I just think if you're LeBron, how do you not want to go to the Cavs? Like, how do you not want to go to the East? Cavs or Knicks? Like,
I would think he wants to go to the East.
I think the
You would-
Cavs for the
as someone who
the narrative,
he
right?
lived his career off like running
narrative. You go back to
But the narrative is also there with the Knicks, the team that
No,
like he's
like
flirted with
you
in the
go back
past.
home. You finish your career where it
He's already
started.
won there.
But that's what it's a final kind of like hat tip. And we also don't know if this is his last year. He could play another 5 years if he wants to, 10 years if he wants to.
No, not 10.
Not Corner's wife.
I could see another two.
Not Corner
or three,
Savannah.
Maybe,
Savannah wants him done.
maybe 2, 3.
That's the dinner clip. The leak is like Savannah wants me retire in a year.
All right. Like,
Wouldn't you think for the legacy purpose of like because obviously he's always matched up with Jordan. I mean, if you win in New York, that's like
That's huge.
That's a different,
Everything.
That's a different thing on your resume that you
And
don't
just
have anywhere else.
Everything that had been floated around forever. Like, I mean, the first decision was all around like him. Like, oh,
Stephen A. told me he was going to the Knicks.
like if he just came back
Why?
and like finally like put a little pin in that chapter.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it makes.
I think the narrative is way more there than
Yeah.
Cleveland. Like Cleveland thing, it's like I don't care if he goes.
He
like,
did that already. He went there. He did that.
I just think to end
On
your
a
career.
champion.
If he
where it
hadn't gone
started.
back to Cleveland, then it's
Yes,
like all out there, obviously.
Agreed.
I will say if he comes to New York and they won a title in his 1 year here,
Crazy.
you would have every street would be street signs, but like you'd have statues on every corner of LeBron James.
I think that
That's the
the narrative.
one thing that can insert him back in the Jordan conversation.
That's what I was going to say. The New
He
York,
would've won
the New
four-
Yorkers
he would've
alone
won
would like
titles with
shift him like in up like with
4 franchises.
You have his number retired.
4.
Four.
If he wins with anybody
Yeah,
else,
but giving the Knicks the title would be.
anybody else besides Miami and Cleveland, he would have won 4 titles with 4 different franchises.
Oh, insane.
Which is crazy.
Dude.
That's as the star, which is kind of
unheard of.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, for this company, we need that. The Dave stuff with him as a Knick would be unbelievable.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Dave might move back.
oh my God.
Just track him.
Yeah.
He's on the case.
Imagine LeBron in New York too.
That would be crazy.
Be wild.
Be
I
nuts.
just coming to that press conference with the Yankees fitted, clean, crispy Yankees fitted. Oh my God.
It's that's so lame.
Yeah, I don't think there's really.
He's a Yankees fan. It's so stupid.
I don't know if there's anybody else really that kind of fits the.
I wish this I would never. I wish the Tatum thing didn't happen. But like them being full strength in theory if LeBron was a Knick. Like they're weaker this year. Boston.
Yeah.
If Boston was at full strength
I
with
know.
LeBron as a Knick would be unbelievable.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah, maybe LeBron sticks around for a few years if he's a Knick, but why are we penciling him as a Knick? He's not a Knick. He's not a Knick.
That would be more.
So excited.
No, baby. I mean,
I don't
it's
blame you.
fucking. It would be sick.
That would be very interesting to LeBron's career if he was a Knick and the Celtics were very healthy, because you look at like his biggest rivals. I know he obviously had the big thing with the Warriors, but like the Celtics were always in the mix
oh my
with him
God.
for his whole career. So you'd be looking at
His best games ever is in the playoffs against the as a Miami Heat.
Yeah,
Like his
game
Cavs
6.
too. He's had great
Game
games. The
6.
Cavs.
Yeah,
The game 6 was unbelievable.
right.
The eyes, the 45 and 15.
Yeah, it would be Cavs against the Celtics when he first started and was rising.
Yeah.
It'd be Miami against the Celtics when they went to war. It would be
You're talking about rivals.
like
Warriors,
just
obviously.
Warriors just won.
well, no, I'm saying
Did he
I'm
have it as
saying
a Laker?
I'm saying the career path of the Celtics, and then he was on the Lakers. I know they never matched up in the finals, but Lakers' natural rival, like the history,
yes.
is the Celtics. So he's tied to that chapter in his career. Granted, there were no big moments, but it is what it is. And then if he's a Knick, like you look and it's just like, it's LeBron versus the Celtics his entire career. You know what I mean? In 4 different phases.
Yeah.
Truthfully, like his biggest games, LeBron's biggest games ever were against
I guess
LeBron's biggest games ever were, because there's so many more, were they against
No,
Celtics or the Warriors?
It's the Warriors.
It's the Warriors.
Warriors,
The
they
Warriors
bet
is
so many-
number
So much
one.
more on the line. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
What did they play against each other in the finals 5 times?
Yeah,
At least 4.
You're right. I do think that flips though. Full strength. I think that flips this year. If it's full strength Celtics, full strength Knicks, and he's a Knick. I think the Celtics become number one. I don't care how many times they melt at the Warriors.
It can't. It's not. Tatum
Yeah,
can't
you're right.
close
It's
out,
not.
so.
Yeah, it's not. But it's hypothetical.
Listen, man, LeBron on the trade block is a fascinating development in sports. For this, it's going to dominate for the next month.
And I think he has to get traded before the season starts. I don't think you can do a midseason thing. I think he has to go.
I think this coming
next
out
week.
right now with how much time Summer League just started, we have so much time
agree.
now. I think there's a point that it's coming out right now. Also, since LeBron released that statement after opting in, there was radio silence from the Lakers. The only person you heard from was McMiniman, who I want to hear from now because he was so adamant this wasn't going to happen.
So was Windhorst.
Yeah, Windhorst was
on that side too.
Windhorst's an
right?
asshole.
Windhorst
an asshole.
Windhorst changed it fast though.
Yeah, he did. He's part of this news story today.
Because it was like I remember he had that hard stance, and then a few days later he was like, I don't know now, anything's on the table.
Windhorst's a dick. His whole career, he's lucky he was born in Akron and his mom taught LeBron math in fucking high school, and he's made a career out of it. He's a fucking asshole, Windhorst.
No.
Damn, you're anti-Windy.
Wow, yeah.
Bad,
why
big
is he so
anti-Windy.
anti-Windy?
Just because he's a fucking idiot. I don't know.
Why is he an idiot?
He's pretty smart. He's carved out a good career.
Why is he an idiot?
His whole fucking.
He went from the Akron Journal to
Are you just
ESPN.
jealous?
He just rode LeBron the whole way.
What a
His mom
smart
taught him in
move.
fucking math.
That's not an idiot. It's just
pretty
genius.
smart.
It's just time. Whatever.
Most famous
Wait, hold
athlete
on.
the last 25
Wait, hold on,
years.
Bosco. You're against people rising up the world by making connections with people? early
Yeah.
on? That's weird, Bosco.
All right, fair. Counterpoint.
Bosco's incredible. Bosco, I think my favorite thing about you is you always get the most passionate about things that, like, basically yourself. There seem things you get very mad about are things that you do more than anyone.
It's tough. I'm a little delirious. I was up late last night.
Oh, were you?
Drove to the wrong school this morning. Got halfway there.
Oh,
went,
no.
motherfucker, I had to make a U-turn. It was, whatever.
Those U-turns, man. Ruining your whole day.
Bro, it's 3 different. Come on, bro. You pick the path to work, dude. You rely on other people.
Yeah.
He chooses that life, though. That's a smart choice.
And maybe an Uber here and there in the morning.
Jackass. You FaceTime your mom to make you lunch in the morning still.
Yeah.
Grow up.
How did I just call my mother last night?
Grow up.
Can we talk real quick? I don't want to steer it away. That Yankee game last night, the win, the Munoz stealing signs, that was fascinating and that was hilarious. Did you watch this comment?
I didn't.
I caught the highlights and the.
I got home last night. I literally went right to sleep.
Did you see the highlights or anything?
I saw nothing.
Incredible.
Oh, okay. All right. So Yankees
I
getting
know they came back. I saw.
Yankees getting
I
no
saw
hit
no hit
until
by
the 8th.
Wu through 7 innings. Wu's
they were
incredible.
getting no hit by
No
Will.
hit by Wu.
Through 7.
Through 7. He was incredible. He came out for the 8th. He wasn't going to finish the game because they're really strict with his pitch count.
They baby him a lot.
Yeah, it's dumb, but also like
He had like 92 through 7 anyway.
he had
he
92
walk
through
anybody?
7. What?
Or he just walked him.
Walk.
Yeah, he never walks anyone either.
No, he's the most slept on pitcher in baseball.
Couldn't agree more.
I love him.
Meek loves him too.
Anyways, they end up scoring a few runs off of him in the 8th. Giancarlo hits a pinch hit, home run. It's 5-3 going to the 9th. They bring in Munoz, though. It was a 1 ERA. He's going to the All-Star game. They lead off. They get 2 hits in the first 3 at-bats, Grisham and Bellinger. They get a guy on second. And once they get on second, the Yankees start. The base runner just literally does this anytime there's a slider.
Really?
It was the whole inning. They did.
Why were they using pitch count?
They were using pitch count, but they were able to. It was something with his glove positioning or the way he was filling with the ball. But they knew every single time this guy was throwing a slider,
God.
like borderline a jumping jack at second base.
I would go as far to say a jumping jack.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Literally, like,
And it was.
And it worked?
Oh, they won the game.
They won the game.
They
Were they
load the bases. They tie it on Wells 3-2 base hit, 5-5, and then they went on a sac fly.
You know what you do with that one, honestly? You balk on purpose. Get the guy to third so he can't do it.
But it was base loaded.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh,
Eventually
okay.
got to bases loaded.
and also Judge hitting like the most shallow fly ball ever.
Oh yeah,
And Volpe makes like an incredible.
Volpe, of
slide.
course, is the one guy who doesn't get the hit off of Munoz. Takes like the worst swing ever, but then he's your runner to start second.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yep.
He, to his credit, an amazing slide to win the game. Raleigh with an awful tag, and the Yankees won.
You guys had a great series against Seattle. And in a series you had to have, I think. In a lot of
Especially
ways.
yesterday, where it's Wu versus Stroman. Stroman actually again holds his own.
pitched
He has
well.
he has a 3.3 ERA or something, 3.6 ERA since coming off the IL. I'm not banking on him, but thank you for those 3 starts. No, they hadn't had a win like that, I think, since what, 2019 or something? A comeback of like 5-0 that later.
Probably not.
It was a bit.
That's hard to do.
It's been a bit. They were a team. Yeah. So
I'm going Saturday against the Cubs. Yankees Cubs.
do the Cubs have a starter for that game yet? There's one game the Cubs don't have an announced starter.
It's a 1:00 start.
No, Shota's Sunday against Warren.
Flexen
Friday
tonight,
is
I believe.
Flexen today, who has a crazy ERA, by the way, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because he was horrific.
What's his ERA?
0.8.
Yeah, it's like under 1.
Has he made a lot of starts?
No, but he's
no.
now but he's like pitched relief for them a little bit too, I think.
No, Cubs will be fascinating, and obviously the whole Kyle Tucker thing people talking about.
Yankees. Oh yeah, Boyd versus Fried. Oh, all right, it's a good game. I'll enjoy that.
Just remove Fried from the All-Star game because I guess he's pitching in that game.
It's a Saturday game.
They remove.
Oh really?
Rodon is now an All-Star.
What?
Nice.
Unless I dreamt that coming here.
No, I'm sure you did. Dude, I haven't seen anything in a day.
Honestly, I love that for the Yankees.
why can't
Just
Rodon be an All-Star?
another guy in the All-Star team.
Has he been that good?
Yeah,
He's been pretty good. Rodon's
He's been good.
up until his last few starts, he had like a 2-something.
I'm not trying to throw
Rodon
shade
All-Star.
on.
Oh, we got a Yankees recap.
Look at this. How would you pronounce that? You think?
Unbelievable.
Rico, if you were Joey Yanks, how would it sound? You think coming out?
I can't do it. Only he can do that.
Oh!
There's a little
Just
innuendo
got
in
the
it.
notification. Rodon an All-Star.
A little innuendo.
I haven't seen a comeback like that.
Rodon has
Rodon's
a 3.3 ERA and 111 innings with 127 strikeouts.
That's pretty good. That's
Can't
pretty
be an All-Star.
That's
pretty
fair.
good.
That's fair.
I would venture to guess he's like just off of the strikeout lead with
Yeah,
127.
definitely. Gotta be top like
I'd have to look at the other guys. I know, for instance, David Peterson made the All-Star team, and he ahead of Christopher Sanchez. And I think you can make a better case for Sanchez than Peterson. I'm a Mets fan. I love Peterson, but Sanchez has probably had a better year.
That's a nice little buddy tip, like
Top 10 in Ks in the whole league, in the whole sport.
just kind of like opt out and let your boy in. Now you're both All-Stars.
in AL.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but just this season, not ever.
Correct.
Okay.
We have
Worth
callers,
noting.
by the
Worth
way.
noting.
Yeah, we got a few. All
Callers.
right, let's go calls, and then we'll get to some baseball kind of trade deadline stuff. Sam, college football question for Ev.
I love it.
Juices
what's up,
are
guys?
flowing. I gotta get in the magazines. I've been in the gym too much.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Sam?
So I've kind of been playing around on DraftKings and going to college football and then going to wins and milestones. They have a section, teams to win 10-plus regular season games. And my question, I put together Boise State and Clemson, and that parlay would be plus 147. Is there going to be a big fall-off with Boise State? Because both of their schedules are pretty favorable.
I mean, that seems like a natural fall.
No,
without
Boise.
Genty, though.
Boise should be really good again, even without Genty. They brought a lot back. The quarterback's back. I know they do play Notre. I know their schedule in front of me. I know they play Notre Dame in South Bend.
Right.
So obviously that's a tough game, and I know UNLV. I think should be very good as well. I'd have to look more like at Boise's schedule, but I know just having that tough game against Notre Dame. But no, I don't hate it. No, Boise should definitely be very good. Like they should definitely be one of the top teams for like the G5 playoff spot again, in my opinion, like easily. Them, UNLV. I have to look at a couple others.
Do you think Clemson is a pretty easy walk to 10 wins besides that LSU game week 1?
I don't think
If they beat LSU, I'd be shocked if they didn't get there, and even if they lose to LSU, I think they're going to get there. I'm in on Clemson. I believe in them. I think this is like their year. I think
they're loaded, right? That's the understanding I got.
Absolutely loaded.
Loaded. A lot of guys with time too.
There's
juniors and seniors.
What are you saying? This is the year basically where like
all their like 5 stars, everything. They're all juniors and seniors. Him not doing like transfer portal stuff.
draft is gonna be littered with defensive guys from them.
I think there's a very realistic chance they have 3 of the top 5 to 10 picks.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think they have almost
Really?
they have 2 defensive linemen that if they fell out of the top like 7, I'd be shocked. And then their quarterback, I think
Klubnik's
their
really good.
quarterback is like one of the Heisman favorites, and I think absolutely is going to be a top.
He had a great year.
I think Klubnik is definitely going to be a first rounder and has like upside to be like a top like.
They're always going to have a good receiver too. I don't know any of their names. I'll be
They
honest.
have a freshman.
They'll always have good receivers.
Antonio Williams was a freshman last year. He's really good. Sophomore.
So are they going to be
Got a few
number 1
guys.
ranked, do you think, Kev? Like coming out?
Not in the country, but top like 5, 6.
Who will be like likely to be number 1 ranked
Ohio State, Georgia.
coming into the season?
Yeah, Ohio State, Georgia.
State
Oregon will be good again. Penn State's supposed to be really good.
Okay.
Notre Dame will be good again. Yeah, like they'll. Like,
Notre Dame's got a tough schedule.
Texas is very good.
I know you're biased. Where is Michigan?
See, with them, it's so much the quarterback. Like, they got this new kid who they gave, like, an absolute disgusting amount of money to, Bryce Underwood, who very much has this, like, he's like a Cam Newton, like, body type. Like, big athletic guy, big arm. It's really just what he is as a true freshman, if he even plays.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of like their X factor. They brought in Mikey Keene, who was a kid who played at Fresno, played at UCF, who's decent.
Okay.
So he might start early. We'll see. It's
And
all
then,
about.
yeah.
I think it's all about kind of how good is Underwood year one. I think that's kind of their
It's
big.
fun to watch.
Definitely top 15, 20 team for sure.
Who's Notre Dame's quarterback?
They brought
We have Angeli.
Angeli. I think
Will be Clemson.
I'm actually not sure. I think they have a little competition. I'm pretty sure.
I just saw C.J. Carr. That
would make sense. I think he was the young kid from last year. Maybe he's like a sophomore now.
Kenny Minchie.
I think Carr is the guy. Is he like a soft? I think he was like their like 4 or 5 star from like the year before.
Probably.
That was the third string.
You buying Kansas State?
Carr is a freshman. Sophomore is Minchie.
You buying Kansas State at all, Lev?
I mean, Avery Johnson should be good.
His third year now.
Yeah, he wasn't. I thought he would be a little bit better last year, to be honest. I thought they'd be.
So did I.
He's still a great
Avery
athlete.
Johnson guy.
He's a great athlete. I mean, you saw it. It was kind of. I mean, I was Ohio State guy was validating. Everyone was like trashing Will Howard, like, oh, you took like their scraps basically.
Nah, he's a winner. I said that from the get go.
No, you're always been away. Will Howard's a better quarterback, but no, I think Avery Johnson's a good player. He's super athletic. It's just how well he can throw.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Right.
Almost makes you wonder. I don't think Kansas State had the money, so I do think it's different, and I do think Kansas State is competing for conference titles, and Ohio State is competing for national titles.
Of course.
But it makes you like. I wonder if the Kansas State guys, when that was going down, and the money does play a big factor, but when they were like, obviously they tried to keep him, but like if Will left, if they were kind of like, okay, we trust Avery, or Avery might be better. That's an old take exposed.
Well, that's kind
You
of
know what I mean? Like I do think that was. They were like, it kind of sucks to lose Will, but we're really high on Avery Johnson. He might be better.
That's what they were ready. They were ready for the kid to come in. That's really what it was.
Yeah,
I would have been there for years.
I think if it was like take money aside, whatever. If they were going to pick a horse in that race, either way, I do think they were picking Avery Johnson.
No, that's
which is an old take exposed.
Essentially,
yeah.
they did.
Yeah, it was an old take exposed. So
like Howard essentially didn't. I don't even know if he really had the choice to stay. They probably were like, all right, you're not going to start. They were moving on.
Yeah, I do think, which is
they were clearly moving on.
Tough look.
Johnson.
Tough look.
I understand it from their point of view. I get it.
Yeah, he's younger. Moisty Turtle, Bengals football.
Moisty.
Yo, what's up, fellas? Long time. It's been pretty busy in my industry, so I haven't been able to call in during the day. Definitely helps that it's on Fridays, just to let you guys know for the callers.
You're in adult films too, right? For the record.
Yeah, adult films. It's really booming between May and July, dude. I just want to be quick. I think right now, if you are going to bet on the Bengals, if they're going to sign Trey Hendrickson, it's going to drop to they're at 20-1. It's going to drop to 10 or 11-1 probably. They were around 12 or 13 when the season opened last year. If they don't sign him, I'd probably think it goes up a little bit. But they're kind of just in this weird limbo where they're talking and they're saying they're going to, but they're not actually doing anything. I think it's a great spot at 20-1. I mean, it's going to go down if they sign him. And then Joe Burrow MVP. I just think, the window we always talk about with Rico, I think it's going to keep getting smaller, but I think he's going to be able to win it within his time frame. He's a second-best quarterback in the league, good-ass player, killer mindset. I can't wait to watch the quarterback thing on Netflix.
Can I ask you a question? So you had Hendrickson last year. What's going to be different if you bring him back?
Well, so we got a new defensive
I
coordinator.
know you have a new coordinator, but what other personnel? Like a coordinator can only do so much, and that defense was as bad as it gets. So even if you bring Hendrickson back, how is this going to drastically change?
So I'm thinking that Hendrickson is going to allow, if we can hopefully also get Shamar Stewart to develop on that side and kind of have a give and go, but it's more so the development of our secondary. And there's just my thing is obviously the Super Bowl is a long way away. There is no fucking way that our defense can be worse than last year. There's no fucking way.
But it could be just as bad.
Okay, so then you work with that then, I guess. That is my least expectation. If they're just as bad as last year, then that's a problem. I'm thinking they're going to improve a little bit, but like I said, if they get Trey Hendrickson, those odds are going to go down because they respect Burrow so much. So I think it's more of a value thing is what I'm saying.
That's fair. I'm not being a dick. I was simply just asking questions.
No, trust me, I would tell you if I thought you were being a dick, Hubs, my guy. I would say something. And then that was my next thing is Clemmer said it yesterday on his stream. I don't know what the fuck Lucas Guido doesn't like me. I'm challenging him to rough and rowdy if he wants it.
Oh.
He doesn't think, he blocked me from Barstool After Dark because I was commenting about how fucking bad he was at the game. He was saying he was much better, and then he spiked his controller 20 minutes later. It's like, bro, you snubbed me from the cash wheel they're doing, and then you block me on Twitter when I call you out on it. It's like, buddy, let's fucking go.
He doesn't like you very much.
Lucas, I don't know. Lucas is a little. Yeah, Tate was playing in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I'd call
No,
and like
this
tell a
not
joke.
like,
Lucas like, we're not doing that. It's like, dude, it's 30. It is what it is. Like,
I don't know Lucas all that well. He does. I think he does a great job with After Dark. But like, I was shocked to hear him. I never really heard him go off on someone like he went off on you, Moisty.
Dude, they called me a scumbag. Tate was like, should we let Moisty turtle in the wheel? Like, he's kind of a hater. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And you guys know me. I'm outspoken, but I'm not a vicious and trolled like guy, like Meek.
No, Moisty Turtle, you have integrity, Moisty.
Yeah.
You call it how you see it.
You're not like a troll. No, like you have strong opinions. That's kind of the par for the course here.
But yeah, I'll let you guys go. Have a good weekend, and I'm glad Magomed Ankalaev is not at number 5, Ev. Let's fucking go. Pantoja, rise up.
Let's go. That's my guy. Shut up, Pantoja. Legend. Most disrespected fighter in the UFC.
I think this is the future king. Ryan, college basketball and an NFL future.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, it's the guy.
What's going on? Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah.
Future boy.
Yes, sir. So I actually messed up. It was NCAA football and NFL. But
Hang up. I'm
future-
kidding.
I'm dead. But what is it? So these are escalators. I like both these teams to take them for division winners. In the NFL, I like the Rams to win the NFC West, like them to make the conference finals and win the Super Bowl.
Wow, the Rams.
Yes, sir. I actually had it parlayed from back in March Madness with Florida and UConn women as a bailout ticket in case I wanted to cash out the Florida future.
Any reason why you're so high in the Rams?
Yeah, I think they were damn close to beating Philly last year, and I think they've only improved.
I like the Rams a lot this year. I think coming in, they're probably like on paper, like would you say the number 2 in the NFC?
Might be.
I think
NFC
so.
West.
Yeah, they're up there.
I mean, in terms of like complete teams, like I think they're the next team.
I think you might be right. Or maybe Detroit, maybe?
I would
you have them?
But I would even argue Detroit, like they've shown kind of some of the issues on defense. Like the Rams defense is only getting better. They hit all their draft picks last year. I like the Rams. I mean, I think I said the other day, I'm almost getting concerned because, and I give Ryan, he's been saying Rams for like months now, but I've seen I feel like a bunch of people I've started seeing saying Rams lately. Like I feel like they're starting to get a little sexy.
Make me nervous.
They're starting to get a little, but I like it though. I like the Rams a lot this year. I kind of just always been a Rams guy. I'm a Stafford guy.
And
Seattle's probably going to be worse, right?
Seattle's
Definitely worse.
And the Niners, I guess.
I think the Niners are the biggest wild card in the league.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I completely agree. I just have no idea what
and
they're going to be.
we did it yesterday. Their schedule's so easy, so
Yeah.
they should be good, you would think. At least solid.
the issue is McCaffrey's health, though. Do you
Yeah.
trust
That's
him?
always the question with McCaffrey. It's always the fucking.
But I don't think they even need a super, like he's going to play. We'll see how much he plays. I don't even think they need a great McCaffrey or like a 17 games of McCaffrey to be like a 11-12 win team. Especially with their schedule.
I think they'll be a wild card team for sure. With that schedule.
Yeah, no, I'd be pretty surprised if they weren't a playoff team, unless things just really went south with injuries and.
I thought they'd win the West no problem last year, and then they finished in last place. So
Yeah.
And then for NCAA football, you're going to hate this, Ev, but I am in love with this Penn State team.
Okay. That's another.
love them to win.
I hate to be that guy.
What's
You and everyone else. This is
I
the like.
know,
This
I
is
know.
this is finally. This is really their year. They're talented. They're
I
super
hope-
super talented.
I mean, the line got better. They got receivers. Fingers crossed. I mean, one of them is from Troy, one from USC.
Yeah.
I forget where the other one is from, but bringing back both running backs. And I was a big Aller guy. I feel like it might be the year of Franklin finally wins the big one.
He had it last year. I mean,
Aller's done, right?
No, he's playing.
He's back?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Aller is so
issue.
weird. Aller is this guy. You look at him and he checks every box, but for some reason, I think there's always like something left to be desired with him. Like he just always like he'll make a few throws that you just go wow. But then when they play good defenses, he just always doesn't play well.
I would be like people talk about him being like a top 10 pick, top 5 pick. I think the whole front office gets fired in 2 years if you take that guy.
Like I need this. I've seen progression, so like I think it was very smart that he didn't go to the draft. Like he needed another year. I guess as an Ohio State fan, like I don't want to see the progression, but like just as a general fan, like for example, in the Big Ten championship game against Oregon, I thought that was the best he's ever looked.
Yeah,
they lost. I thought he looked great. They scored a bunch of points. Their defense couldn't get any stops.
He looked good in the Notre Dame game, aside from that one throw. Obviously,
he had moments he looked good. He had moments he looked good. Then he looked horrible when he needed to look great.
I know, yeah.
So that's where I don't know. And then I guess I'm biased too because the 2 times he's played Ohio State, we have one of the best defenses in the country. We've just chewed him up and spit him out both times. So I feel like times when I've watched him in those like crunch time games, I'm always kind of like, where is he?
So,
but I understand. I understand the Penn State love though. Like they brought back just such a loaded roster, and they took our defensive coordinator. They took Knowles, who's a fucking great coordinator.
What is it? Look at in general. I always look for the storyline as a futures guy. Who has the talent and has that chip on his shoulder? Because I feel like every college football analyst is saying similar things, questioning him in the big moments. He's had an entire offseason of hearing Franklin can't win the big one. I don't know. I just like putting my money on that. I feel like maybe he might go on that FU tour.
They're due. I mean, they're due for it in a way, but it's so tough because it's. I go back and forth on it because it's like he hasn't won the big one, but also it's not like I guess there's nothing to like be ashamed about. You just lose to like Ohio State,
Right.
And then like the couple of good years, like you lost to Michigan when they were like national title good. So I don't know. I understand it in terms of like maybe they're like undervalued just because everyone thinks they can't win the big one, but. I don't know. I didn't even know how much of it is Franklin and how much of it is like they just like have just been like just short.
Well, listen, it is unfair, I guess, or because we'll never know the answer. But you know, it's kind of like the chicken or the egg, or playing the what if game. Like if they expanded this playoff to 12 teams 8 to 10 years ago, could Franklin have maybe made a run in one of them?
Well, they would have definitely made a bunch of playoffs.
Would have made a bunch of playoffs.
But also last year it's tough for them because like they obviously made the Final Four. They should have made.
I'm just saying they would have had more opportunities. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, they definitely.
And I hate them.
They would have made the playoffs. Almost every year.
Yeah, pretty much. They were in the mix.
But also even last year, like they get such a good break in terms of.
Oh yeah.
Like they get Boise, they get who do they play? Why am I drawing a blank? Who do they play in the second round?
Not Arizona State.
Was it Arizona State?
No, because Arizona State lost to Texas. They played who do they play? Boise and why am I drawing such a blank?
Who the fuck did they play?
That was gonna piss me off.
Notre Dame?
No, that was who they played in like the semi.
I'm gonna look it up right now. But either way, I'll get.
Oh, they played SMU first round.
That's it. Was
Boise
SMU then Boise.
SMU then Boise.
SMU then Boise. That's right.
SMU was horrid.
Yeah, so they got SMU at Penn State.
I think SMU was a good team. They were just overmatched.
Overmatched.
I'm saying that game was just
hard.
Overmatched and playing in the cold for
and
them
I
was
kept
a
thinking
disaster.
they were about to like, okay, here's the drive.
Yep.
Nope, it's just gonna go.
Pick
Here's a pick
six.
six.
Yep.
Yeah.
But thanks for taking my call, guys. Have a great day.
All right.
Baseball note: Julio Rodriguez will not be in the All-Star game.
Why?
He says he's taking the second half to recuperate, rest, and prepare for the second half.
Probably
Bellinger.
he's gonna try and play like an all-star in the second half. Maybe.
So who would take that spot?
Get Bellinger in there.
Ooh, I don't know.
CJ Cron.
Outfielder spot.
Bellinger's better numbers everywhere than Rodriguez.
Cody dude. You know he has 2 separate 15-game hitting streaks this year.
Really?
He's like one of the he's short list of Yankees to do that.
Weird.
That's pretty.
I really think
He's been on
Bellinger
fire
should be
for
at least
us.
in like that short list of guys. That would
Bellinger's had a good season. The fact that we got him for fucking Cody Petit.
yes, insane.
Crazy.
And how poorly he started.
And Petit, I think, is out for the year, or not even. He does not an impact guy for the Cubs.
No.
Yeah, and it was a really
was so
it was
bad
a
the
really
first,
bad start.
month or
Wonder if
so.
they'll have a revenge series against them this weekend.
Belly,
Hope so. Would be nice.
Cool.
Would be nice.
Brian has Knicks salary cap and LeBron.
Okay, I need this. Be a cap man, please.
What's going on, Hubs? It's your Hornets guy down in Charlotte.
Love it.
But calling back to talk about the Knicks real quick.
My man called in twice when I was doing the solo show.
Oh, nice.
A hero.
All right.
Clemmer, I think you wanted to speak up. You might be tired from your stream last night, but trading for LeBron would put us in cap hell. I think you guys are assuming, like, if we lose a $60 million player, we have $60 million available. That's just not the case.
Correct.
We're going to be paying OG, we're going to be paying Brunson, and we're probably going to extend Bridges. If we don't extend Bridges, now we're losing LeBron and Bridges at the same time, and we have to find one player maybe to fill those gaps.
And you're unable to, you can't replace the $60 million because you're already over the cap.
Correct.
Correct.
So good players are incentivized not to hit free agency, and good teams are incentivized not to have salary cap. A good example of what you can see happen if a team goes with that risk is the Sixers signing a washed Paul George to a max deal. That's what you're going to see in free agency when teams have all that space. So with that aside, that's, just quick little rundown of how the new aprons work. But also, LeBron is just a terrible fit basketball-wise. He does not rectify anything that was wrong with us last season. Last time I called in, I said all we have to do is make a couple of little moves, and we're better than we are last year. The chemistry is going to get better, and the East is also worse. So we picked up Clarkson. He's way better than Campaign.
Definitely.
We picked up Yabu. Yabu's a solid big man.
We did have to get depth. We had to get depth.
Sure. They've done a great job.
String.
They have.
And we still have another minimum move that we can make.
Marcus Smart's being
for
rumored.
a guy in the buyout markout. Exactly.
Be a nice fit.
The Knicks are going to be better than they were last year.
For sure.
The Celtics aren't going to be the same. The Pacers aren't going to be the same. Trading for LeBron would be my absolute nightmare. I've hated the guy since the decision. He went to the Heat. We all thought Knicks. That guy's been dead to me for a long time. So I literally might jump all the way over to the Hornets train if we trade for that guy. So I don't know what you guys see in it, but that is not a smart move in any facet.
It's more for me. Well, maybe the reason they haven't extended Bridges is because, maybe this is lurking.
Looming, yeah.
Looming. If for me, it's flexibility getting off the Towns deal early.
You don't have flexibility in the back end, though.
It doesn't give you flexibility. No. That's the point.
Even with not extending Bridges?
If you don't extend Bridges, now you're losing two all-star caliber players for a bad free agent that never wanted to hit the free agent market.
But what about that flexibility after the 1 year of LeBron? Is that not there even with that?
Now you're replacing both Cat / LeBron and Bridges.
I just don't really think.
You're replacing two players with barely any money left because you're still paying Brunson, Hart, OG. You got a couple other guys that are over minimum, but mostly minimum players after that. Technically, if you lost both guys, it would give you flexibility. But who are you picking up? You're picking up a washed player like Paul George.
Yeah, the free agent market. The free agent market next year is a little better. I will say that, but it's still.
The 2027 free agent market is big, and I would guarantee most of those guys never see free agency.
I think that's exactly right too. A lot of the guys that we have on the table are going to sign extensions. You're absolutely right.
Exactly, and then they're going to ask for trades. That's just how the NBA is going to work. So there, in my opinion, there's not one reason that LeBron makes the Knicks better, flexibility or just purely basketball.
That's fine. I'm just not a Towns guy, and if I can get Towns, I don't think they can win with Towns. But that's just my thinking. Fair enough.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking my call.
Thanks, Bob.
Good call. Thanks.
He's got to be in financial law if you understand the cap like that.
It's crazy.
I appreciate that.
I'm looking at the All-Stars, by the way, the reserves or who didn't make it. It's basically Belly or Trout.
Oh, Belly. I would give it to Belly. I understand the Trout love. I love Trout, but
because Baez made
Bellinger deserves more than Trout.
Baez is a starter. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
So you're looking at Judge, Green, Baez, Quan are all in,
right?
And then Julio out of there. Yeah, it's basically Belly's next up unless you go Trout.
I hate the Yankees. I would give it to Bellinger over Trout.
Yeah.
Jimmy, Wimbledon.
Oh, George Springer. That could be George.
He's already in, isn't he?
Oh, is he in? Never mind.
I thought he was in.
Never mind.
What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, so it's looking like we're going to get a Sinner Alcaraz final. I would love to hear all of your predictions on who do you think wins it and how many sets.
Yeah.
Hang up and listen.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Final?
What?
When is the final?
Sunday morning.
As a Catholic, I'm going to say a Sinner cannot win on Sundays. I'm going to take Alcatraz.
Love it. Yeah, Carlos beat Fritz Day in 4. I gave out the over. That hit. I think Marty in his parlay had Carlos in 4, which is dead on. I don't know what else he had. He might have had Novak.
He lost. No, he had Sablenka.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, Sinner's waxing Novak at the moment. It's kind of jarring how bad Novak looks. So we're going to get Carlos and Sinner again, which is great because the French Open final was amazing. I'm going to guess the line is like Carlos minus 150, maybe a smidge higher. I'm a Carlos guy. He's going for the three-peat here. He's won 24 straight matches. I would say Carlos in 4 is my prediction. I don't think anyone else watches tennis.
No, I've been paying attention.
I rely on you.
I've been betting on it recently more.
Yeah, you had a tennis question for me the other day.
I bet Sinner. No, because I literally was talking to Jack Mack about it, like literally before the show started.
Yeah.
About betting. We were both going to bet Alcaraz big no matter what. And we were talking like what the line was going to be. And the look-ahead line now was minus 185. So he probably will be minus like 160, I guess.
So yeah, 175.
When Sinner wins.
It would be, watching from what I've watched so far, it'd be very shocking if he even loses a set at this point. Yeah, 175. That feels right, and I would say Carlos in 4 off that. Sinner's best surface is not grass. Like, this is an achievement for him to get to the final. Carlos is the 2-time defending champ here, going for 3. Has won 20-something matches in a row just on grass alone. This is his kingdom.
Did he beat Sinner on the way the last 2 times?
Here at Wimbledon.
Yeah, at Wimbledon, yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think maybe one of them he beat him here. But I mean, in the final last year it was Novak. I want to say he beat Sinner in the semis, but my memory is shot. I was talking about this today with my friends. I have no memory for anything. But Sinner's best surface is hard court. He loves the hard courts. He dominates like the U.S. Open, Aussie Open. He loves that shit. He's getting better at clay. He's seemingly getting better at grass, but he's not there yet. This is Carlos's to lose.
Springer, by the way, not in the All-Star game yet.
Okay, so
he
and also had a better Angels name. Joe Adell is having a better year than Mike Trout. Adell's having a nice.
I was looking at votes.
Oh, okay.
Is that what determines it?
No, but I was just looking at people who were near the list.
No, George Springer should get the spot over Bellinger.
Yeah.
I would say Joe Adell, and I think might be a better option than Bellinger too. But I think it's going to go to Springer.
Joe Adell's fair. I didn't think that's fair.
I always forget about him.
He's had big numbers.
Yes, he's had a nice year for them.
That's fair.
All right, 2 more. Anthony.
Hey, what's up, guys? I got a little healthy debate for you guys.
What's up?
So I was talking to my friends, and we're having a little debate, and I said, so out of all the 4 major sports, I mean, maybe not including hockey. I know you guys are not hockey guys. I think the AL is the worst conference out of all the 4 major sports. People say the East is bad in the NBA. People say the NFC is bad. I think actually the East, healthy debate, might be even a little bit better. Well, last year it was. Maybe not going into next year. But I think the AL, like the Yankees, is a cakewalk to go to the World Series.
Yeah, Houston.
So I want to know what you guys think.
Tigers.
Blue Jays.
Tigers.
Detroit might be a little fugazi though.
They can pitch.
Yeah, but they're in that weak Central. I don't think the caller's point is entirely wrong.
They Scooble multiple times in a series. I don't want to fucking deal with that. Now the rest of the Central, sure. Yeah. Astros are getting better.
Astros and Blue Jays and Yankees. But, like, he's kind of right.
Now compare it to the NFC and compare it to...
no, compare it to
there's no Eagles in the AL.
Yeah. No. I would never say the NFC. I would say, what about the East? The NBA East?
The East stinks.
The East next year, maybe.
I think the East is worse.
Just because the Celtics and
I think the East is
worse.
Celtics and Pacers are bad now.
Them falling off that much hurts.
Dude, I think it has to be the East.
I think it's the East.
What's interesting is if the Celtics and Pacers didn't have those injuries, East is pretty good.
Right. It's what I'm saying.
It's build up.
But now that's not the case.
You'd have 4 for sure. Cavs, Knicks,
and then you
Celtics,
have, Pacers. You also have like
you have emerging
Magic,
improving Pistons. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I think the East. But the caller's overall point about the AL being so weak though is very fair. AL is bad.
I find myself wanting to spot. Like I'm just a fan of all the teams in the weaker conference. Every team I root for. I always
good place to be.
It's just the AL, the East, the NFC. Always there.
I think I'm on the. I'm other than the Celtics, I'm on the opposite on football, and I'm on the opposite in baseball. It's not a great place to be.
All right, Kenny's got Jalen Hurts and Philly. Is he good? Jalen Hurts and Philly. Is he good?
And I think it's a fair question, Rico. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Kenny here. So, Rico, obviously, you played on the defensive side of the ball, so I feel like you probably have a pretty good, insight to this, being a defensive genius and all. So here's what I want to say is it's a big convo. Jalen Hurts, is he being carried, on his back by his teammates and his coaching staff, or is he this, godlike figure who just whips the ball all over the yard? People are trying to figure out why the Eagles are so good.
I think he's good enough. I think he's above average.
I actually brought stats today, Rico. It's a new thing for Kenny Hammer. He's got stats. So it's a website. They're called PFF. Some people say they're big time. I don't know. But here's what they say. They say that in Philly, they rank their receivers 1. The offensive line is ranked 1. The linebacker unit, number 1. Running backs 4. D-line 2. The secondary is 8. My question, Rico, are these Philly fans bad fans for trying to prop up their quarterback and ignoring the other 52 guys and coaching staff? I say yes. I think these Philly fans are selfish and they're bad.
Hell of a spin zone. Yeah, I can see it, man. Yeah, it's good. You brought the facts, dude. That's a good one. I like that spin zone.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more into the stats game because, it's a lot of pencil pushers out there who think they know sports and whatnot, and they always go to the analytics and stuff. So I feel like if I pose as one of those guys, right, and I just start throwing random facts out, people might start believing me, right?
Yeah, I don't hate it.
What's your usual go-to, Rico? How do you get – because, you have a very, back in the newsletter days, there was a lot of stats on there, but, you also used to throw out, all your eye test stuff. That's how you used to win the Rico Rider so much money. So, how do you kind of balance that analytics versus manalytics side of things?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of right. I do lean, I guess, a little bit more towards stats, but some of it's just eyes. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that guy's like the same thing you said with Aller. Like, he's got all the stats and so to speak, but yeah, I can't trust him in a big spot. Or the same. The same thing. Listen, I mean, I guess it's kind of the same with Mahomes. But. He's got unbelievable stats, obviously, but I'm never betting against Mahomes in those big spots till you get proven wrong, and then you lose last year in the Super Bowl.
True.
And that's where you're at.
Fair.
So, yeah.
But they kind of just hold Jalen's hand to the finish line, and then, he gets the MVP, all the awards and whatnot. But really, it's some boys like Lane Johnson, it's Saquon Barkley, it's Nicholas Sirianni. These guys are the ones doing the real work.
Yeah, Sirianni did get he makes some dumb decisions, but
Yeah,
he's got way longer of a leash now. He's got way longer.
You can argue with the numbers.
I know, but they hated him.
He's been the coach for 4 years. They've been in the Super Bowl twice.
They hated him, though, Ev.
Well, yeah, of course they did. I mean, the season before ended so poorly.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. All right, thanks, buddy.
I think if you put a guy like Jordan Love in there, I think they win 4 Super Bowls.
All right, thanks, man. All right, I think we got one more. It doesn't.
Ev, in his run, Carlos's run, they did not play. Sinner and Alcaraz. Sinner beat him 3-1 at Wimbledon in 2022. Wow, okay. That was before Carlos kind of took
off.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni, lifetime 706 winning percentage.
Crazy.
At some point, you are where you are.
Yeah. All right, this could go either way, so we'll see how this goes. Nikki C, last call.
Nikki C.
Holy shit, boys! I'm still buzzing from Christmas in July yesterday. DJs, Rico, we missed you.
Yeah. I was in the gym. Thanks.
Doctor.
Yeah.
There he
Clever.
is.
Who shot for your shoes, buddy? Those fucking shoes are unreal.
I got them with Marty. We were at Foot Locker, and I said, I like those. And Marty said, you should get them. And I didn't, and I got a lot of compliments. But
much better than the green.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, and two quick things. Hey, Ev, you're a beautiful bald bitch, baby. I love how you embrace that
I love you,
baldness.
Nikki C. I love you.
I fucking love that you embrace that baldness. Not everyone's got the stones like you do.
No hat today.
And last thing, I got 3 stock ups. I took a big stock in Hubs. January 2025, he's skyrocketing. Big Central editor. I mean, I go up now. Second, Mike Kadek's going to kill Summer out. And third, I mean, everyone's got stock in Zach. And then my two fucking blue chips, Rico, Ad. They're like Apple stock. They just keep going and going. Yeah, I'm still buzzing from. Love you. Talk to you later. Have a good one.
Easy.
What a call. What a call going the weekend.
Yeah,
Legends. Absolutely.
The best. All right, I'm going to give an off-the-grid pick. Shout out DK Horse. My old college football coach said a friend of his was going to Saratoga. He's like, you got any picks? So I looked at Saturday's list. As you know, my in-depth horse analysis goes to what, Ev? Names.
Name, of course.
So in the 12th race at Saratoga tomorrow is a horse named Panache. Why is Panache significant?
Panache.
It was a club on like 86th and 15th.
I'm familiar.
Back in the day.
I've heard of it.
Brooklyn Panache. 50 Cent performed there. My boy still has the flyer. I did a thing, Bosco one with Roan on the 20th anniversary of Get Rich or Die Trying, which was an unbelievable album. So
one of the best.
Panache was a spot back in the day. So I'm in the 12th race. I'm betting Panache tomorrow.
Love that.
In Saratoga.
What's the line?
Right now, I think he was at like 4-1, 5-1.
Okay, so one of the favorites. One of the favorites.
Yeah, let me take a look at that. Clemmer.
Yeah, I haven't put this out yet. One pick. I've been so bad. I've been so horrible with picks lately. So just putting that out there. But it's a parlay. Ranger Suarez over 17.5 outs. He's gotten way more outs than that in like 6 of his last 7 starts. And then Luis Severino, 3+ earned runs. He's already said he doesn't like pitching in Sacramento.
Oh, is he home?
And against the Blue Jays. So, like, it's already in his head. So I'm hoping – so that works out to being plus 142. I need a win badly because my picks have been atrocious. So there you go. I'll put it out soon.
8-1. 8-1.
8-1. All right.
Not bad. Ev.
All right, I'm on the over 9 in Red Sox Rays. I'm taking some good pitchers today. I like the over 7 in Mariners and Tigers. I'm on the over 7 as well in Twins Pirates. And I'm also taking the Twins money line and the Orioles money line.
Going against Skeens, huh?
I am. I mean, they lose more than not when he pitches.
Yeah,
Poor guy loses 1-0 every game.
The Luton Lions juice because it's Skeens, but
Twins are at home. Joe Ryan's not a bad pitcher.
Joe Ryan's a good pitcher.
We like Joe
Ryan could be on the block.
I know. I wonder how many Twins guys will be. The Twins could make some interesting moves.
That's what I was going to say. Correa's sneaky, maybe.
Keep an eye out, yeah.
Maybe, you never know.
Need some money.
Never know.
Buxton. That's a guy the Mets are
Buxton.
looking at.
He'd be a perfect fit for the Mets.
You're not scared about the injuries?
I am, but
It's like it's a ticking time bomb. It always is.
he's kind of underpaid.
Also, who's the young guy they have? He's always hurt.
Royce Lewis.
Royce Lewis. Another guy they could just be trading everybody.
You see with the Mets yesterday too. So they starting Marte gets hurt. He could be out for God only knows.
That was a bad day.
And then Jesse Winker, he's like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm ready to go." Doesn't make it through a game. So like, do the Mets need a DH now? I say yes.
Senga back today.
And then Sunday, Manai's back. But now we need hitters. So.
Yeah.
Hubs.
I already gave up Alcaraz to win Wimbledon a couple before the tournament. I think it was like minus 110 at the time. So you're gonna get I have that. Tomorrow's the women's final. There's an American, Amanda Animasova, who was born in the town over from me in New Jersey. Her to win a set, minus 165 against Iga. Then tonight, I'm gonna go with the Marlins plus 120. Edward Cabrera, just
red hot.
Always just shoves. Love him. He could be a name also.
He's a name. A lot of
he's a name.
He's skyrocketing.
So Edward Cabrera plus 125. I think people are going to be riding high on the O's a little bit for what they just they won the doubleheader. I like the number for the Marlins plus 120. I like Rasmussen anytime he pitches minus 105 against the Sox. Maybe cool them down. They've won 7 straight. They're all of a sudden a playoff team at this point. Give me the Rays. I thought about the Royals. I'm going to stay off. Senga. There was one more here. We'll go Jack Leiter plus 105 in Houston. Fade McCullers.
Okay.
He hasn't been great.
No.
He's
All
been consistent.
That's Pick Central. We'll catch you Monday. Everybody have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, guys.